All right. Well, Caroline, it might just be you and I today, but I'm going to go through paid ad campaigns in Command. Um, so I haven't done this training in a few months, so um, it'll be a good kind of update some videos and go through just kind of the basics of it. It's pretty simple, straightforward, but I'll go through a couple different ad campaign types and just give you some ideas of how you can utilize them. Okay, so let's get my command shared here. All right, can you see my screen? Okay, perfect. All right. So to start out with paid ad campaigns, you're going to navigate over to the campaigns applet, which is this little megaphone icon. So this is the same applet that you would do a direct mail postcard campaign. You can also do one-off email campaigns in here. And then if you want to schedule or post on social media like Facebook and Instagram, you can also do that through here too. So there's a couple different ways that you can get to the paid ads. So you'll see this tab at the top here, and this will just give you kind of links to like some different training videos and information. But really, you're going to either click on Learn More about paid ads right here under Helpful Links, or if you click on this Create Campaign button at the upper right corner, and then click on Paid Ad. Because then what this does is it takes you into the paid ads section of Command. And so the way that the page is laid out is you've got the dashboard with this quick start option, and you've got all of the different objectives for paid ad campaigns. And you'll see that there are basically two different types of ad campaigns that you can create, which are generate leads and generate traffic. And basically, the difference between those two types of ad campaigns for the generate leads, you'll see that each of these, it says includes Facebook lead form. So essentially, how that works is when you configure the ad campaign, and let's say a consumer is scrolling through Facebook or Instagram and they see your ad, they click on learn more, and then Facebook is going to prompt this lead capture form where it's already got their contact information because it's what is in their Facebook account. So it's got their name, their phone number, and their email address. The consumer can then just hit OK. And at that point, you're capturing that lead into your command database. Whereas the generate traffic ads is you're really relying on the URL that you're directing people to, whether that's your website or let's say you set up like a Google form, or just really like a landing page, anything like that. So you're then relying on the consumer to fill out a lead capture form on your website or whatever URL you directed them to. The main difference too is that the generate traffic ads will have the option for the Google Display Network. So if you wanted to run an ad campaign that's hitting both Facebook, Instagram, and the Google Display Network, which is really going to consist of other sites that Google owns, like Gmail, YouTube, then those would be a good option for you. But otherwise, in terms of just kind of general ad campaigns, like if you're advertising a listing, an open house, anything like that, I would recommend the generate leads, one of these ad campaigns. And you'll see it lists out like, okay, are you advertising a listing or is it just a single image or a video? Do you want the multi-image carousel going on that ad campaign? Are you advertising multiple listings? So maybe you're holding two open houses this weekend and you want to advertise both of them. This would be a great option for that. And then you've got, non-listing single image or video or non-listing multi-image carousel. You can also do TikTok ad campaigns, so more of a video upload. So that's an option as well. So today I'm going to go through a listing ad campaign and then a non-listing. So just to give you a couple ideas of how you can set these up. But before we jump into that, I just want to go through some of these options over here. So one of the first things that you would need to do, and it is going to prompt you to do this if you are just getting started, is connecting your Facebook business page. So if you haven't done that already, you'll notice that there's an assets folder, and then you've got Facebook pages. So you do have to have a business Facebook page created in order to do any sort of ad campaigns through command. And you would just click on add Facebook page and then follow the prompts. It's just going to verify a couple things and then you should see it linked in here. You'll also see as you start to run any ad campaigns, you'll notice any leads coming in, which you can access through here. And then it'll also keep track of any media that you upload. So if you're adding images or videos, it will kind of save under this media library. This programs tab. So this is going to show any drafts that you have saved or any active or inactive ad campaigns. So this will be kind of that history of any ad campaigns that you've created. Because then say you want to check on an ad campaign that's currently running, or maybe it ended, you can click on that. And then this is where you can really see the breakdown of how that ad performed. So there's an example of what that's going to look like with the number of clicks, the number of leads, views, cost per click, cost per lead, and then the click-through rate. So that is the number of clicks that your ad received divided by the number of times your ad is shown. So it's nice that that gives a little breakdown of what that entails. And then you're able to see that preview of what that ad was for. And then it's also saying, it ran on both Facebook and Instagram. And you'll notice too, like you don't have to connect your Instagram account. It's just your Facebook page, business page that you would need to connect. It just automatically would then run on Instagram. All right, so let's get into the ad campaigns. So again, I'm going to start with a single image or video listing ad campaign. And I'm just going to click on this here. You'll see there's some AI like generated like pop-ups here. Just click got it, remove that. Okay, so the way that this is laid out is you'll see your Facebook page connected. If you've got multiple Facebook pages, business pages, you'll be able to toggle between one or the other. You can also link a new page from here as well. But then here's where I'm going to add my listing. So I'm going to click on add my listing. And keep in mind, this is pulling every single listing across the entire country. All of the MLSs are linked in here. So in order to search, you're going to click on filters. And I would suggest filtering by the MLS ID. And I pulled up one of our office listings. So I'm going to grab this one here in Shorewood. It's a new listing from Dusty Lorena. I'm going to use his as an example. And so I'm going to click on filters, change it to MLS ID, and I'm just going to paste that MLS number in there. And so that's going to search for that listing, and it should pull up eventually. And I would say too, like if you're holding an open house or if you just want to advertise a listing, make sure that you are getting permission from the listing agent. I think a lot of the time, people are gonna be fine with it. They love when, other agents want to advertise their listing. It's, free promotion for them. But just make sure that you are getting that permission from the listing agent. All right, so I can see that this is the listing. So I'm going to click on it, select, and that's going to pull in the listing. So it's nice because it's linked to the MLS. So you're not actually needing to upload the images and the information about the listing. So here it is, the listing. And then I've got my ad preview here too. So as I'm configuring this, I can see what this ad is going to look like as I'm making changes. But the next section here is targeting. So you'll see you've got two targeting options, either based on the listing location or a custom location. So I think most of the time you're going to leave it at listing location. But let's say that you've got, you're promoting a listing on, let's just say Pewaukee Lake. and you want to run an ad campaign targeting Chicago buyers. So maybe that's the case where you're going to do custom location and you're going to enter in a zip code or a city, and you would just, type in something here, and then you can do that target radius around that location. So that would be an example of choosing a custom location. For this, I'll keep it at listing location, and you'll notice that you can target from 15 miles up to 50 miles. So for this case, maybe I'll just leave it at 20 miles. And then media type. So you'll see that it's just automatically pulling in that first listing photo. If you had a video that you wanted to include instead of the image, you would just choose video, and then you can upload that MP4 or .mov video. So it'll also tell you the maximum size. But for now, I'll just leave it at listing, or I mean image, listing image. And then from here, I can also change this. So if I don't want to use that main image, I can click that drop down, and then it's pulling all of the listing photos from the MLS. So they look really small here, but if you hover over, it will get larger. So if I wanted to maybe use like a living room photo, let's see, maybe the dining room or the kitchen, I can do that. Let's just do one of the living room. So once I change that, you'll see that the preview will update as well. And then theme options. So if you were specifying like a just listed or just sold, you'll notice that it kind of changes like a theme and puts an overlay at the bottom here. I'm more of a fan of keeping it at none, just letting the image kind of speak for itself and then having the text at the top here and then configuring the body and the headline. So then below that, we've got those text boxes here. So the body text, you'll see that it's just defaulting to, beautiful new home and then there's that merge field. So it's pulling in that information from the MLS listing again. So we've got in Shorewood, just listed at, and then the price. So my advice is to never include the full property address for these ad campaigns and don't include the price. You could be a little bit more vague on the price and just say, under 800,000 or under, 400,000, something like that, because you want to get people intrigued to click on that learn more button. If you give them the full property address, they're going to just take that and look it up on Zillow. So you want to capture people's attention and, it's basically a teaser. You want to give them a little bit so that they want more. So the body text, you'll also notice that there is an AI copywriter. So I could click on that and I could choose, okay, what do I need help with? Body text. And it's gonna just spit out some examples of what you could include. So discover your dream home just 2 blocks from Atwater Beach. So I can hit apply and that populates right in here. So it's really nice because you don't have to log into ChatGPT or any other AI, platforms. It's already built in here for you. Now for the body text, and as you can see on my preview, I would have to click on learn more to see the rest of that. So I would probably condense this down a little bit, maybe remove that last sentence here. But as you can see, like you just have to kind of play around with what that preview looks like. And then for the headline. So right now it's just bedroom, bathroom count. Obviously, we want to spruce that up a little bit. So I'm a fan of kind of seeing what the AI generator is going to include. Okay, so headline, find your dream bungalow near Atwater Beach. So I don't hate that. It's very kind of general with like, okay, if you know where Atwater Beach is, that's basically like indicating it's in Shorewood. So you could say something like that, or just keeping it simple, find your dream bungalow in Shorewood. something like that. Again, just not including that full property address. Um, Maybe you're holding an open house for this listing, but this would be a great spot to put, and let me just exit out of that AI generator, and I'm going to add it directly in here. And maybe I want to do open house, and then put something simple. Is it okay? Third, fourth, and the sixth. So kind of being cognizant of the number of characters that I'm writing in here because I want to make sure that everything is showing. So then I've got that headline, open house, April 6th. And then let's just see what I can add here. 1 to 3. Let's see how that looks. Okay. So I don't hate that because everything is showing up here. Because I think if I added too much information, that it might not show everything, but okay. So you've got some room. It does allow for a second line right down there. So up to you on how much information you want to include for that body text and that headline. You'll notice that it'll tell you that character limit. So I've got 34 out of 55 characters for the headline, and I've got 145 characters out of 255 for the body text. So I do still have room here. But again, I think short and sweet, to the point, and just it's a teaser. All right, so then now I've got my post lead submission destination. So as I mentioned earlier, when the consumer clicks on learn more, that pop-up for that Facebook lead generation form is going to appear. If they click OK, boom, you capture them as a contact into your database. You've got that new lead. But then once they click OK, it's still going to route them to a URL, whatever you're going to put in here. If you're promoting a listing, send these people to your website. So every agent has their own agent site in Command. Once you activate it and set it up, it's pretty much built out for you already. So even if you haven't really fully customized it yet, and you're doing an ad campaign and you want to route people there, don't worry about that. It's still going to be fully functional for you, especially in this case. So I would go to your website, and I'm going to search for this listing. So I'm just going to copy and paste this address here. So I'm searching for the right one. So I'm going to put that in the search bar here. You'll notice that it might pull up a few different listings, like if it's been listed before, but there's a little like blue circle indicating the active listing. So I know that's the correct one. And here it is. So up here at the top, I'm going to grab that entire URL and copy it, because that's what I'm going to enter in here. So I'm going to remove that HTTPS because I know my URL is already copied with it. I'm going to paste that in there, and then it's going to verify that and make sure that is working correctly. You can even preview the URL. So again, that looks great. You'll notice that you will show up as the agent. Since it's your agent website, you are going to show up here. Of course, it's still going to have the listing courtesy of Keller Williams, Dusty Lorino, but your photo, your name, and everything is going to show here. So that's what those listing pages look like on your website. Okay, so we've got that in there. That's what the link is going to take the consumer to after they have submitted that lead capture form. And now you've got lead settings. So basically, this is determining how, or what does it look like once that lead comes into your database. You can automatically tag them and then assign them to a smart plan. So not required, but I would definitely tag them in some way, whether it's Facebook lead. Some people will even do something more specific, like Facebook lead and then Stowell, or like the address of the property that you're promoting. And then if you're creating that new tag, you'll just click on create as new tag. And you can add multiple tags too. So if I wanted to add like web lead, or I mean, these are just some that I must have created at some point. But you can add whatever tags that you'd like. Whatever. You'll notice you can just type in and hit create new lead or new tag, sorry. And then smart plans, same thing. It'll also bring up any smart plans that you've added in your library. So keep in mind, you aren't able to, let's say you want to set them up on a specific like Facebook lead follow-up plan. You have to have had to add that smart plan into your library in order to select it here. So just note that this will only allow you to add one that's existing in your library right now. And I think I probably have one at some point. Yep. So Facebook follow-up, email and task heavy, Facebook follow-up. So something like that. Again, this is not required. Either of these are not required. You still will have access to kind of, you know, in command when you're viewing that ad campaign and viewing your leads from that ad campaign, you'll be able to take a look at that specific group of leads that you received from this particular ad campaign. But it's nice when you are looking at your contact database and then you can filter by those tags and then you can see, okay, how many Facebook leads did I get just in general or for this particular ad campaign? All right. So then you've got compliance in here. The default will just show the Market Center logo and any compliance text. This is pulling from your marketing profile. So for example, you probably can't tell, but if I zoom in, maybe if it'll, yeah. I have each office is independently owned and operated. So that's pulling in directly. And then, of course, the courtesy of Dustin Loreno, Keller Williams, Milwaukee, North Shore. So we've got that compliance text. It's defaulted in there, so you don't have to worry about that too. All right, so once everything is looking good, you're going to proceed to the last step. But you'll notice you can also save it as a draft. So if you're not ready to quite yet to publish this, you can save it as a draft. But I'm going to click to proceed. And now I'm going to set my duration and my budget. So let's just say I'm holding this open. I want to start promoting it today. Just know, and it'll say right here, after publishing, your program might take up to 24 hours to go live. So it's probably good, especially in this case, if you're promoting an open house, it's Thursday, I'm going to start it right away and I'm going to run it through Sunday. Your budget. So it is going to automatically tell you what's kind of preferred and what the limit is. So for example, what will it let me go down to? I think it's probably 15. Let's do. Okay, so $14 is my limit. I have to spend at least $14. And then my daily spend is $3.50. So it has to ensure that you're spending enough money because it has to allocate. I think it's at least $1 a day per channel. But maybe I'll do 20 bucks. My daily spend is $5. And then billing, so you can add a credit card on here. You'll notice that you can have a saved credit card for your ad campaign. So I've got my card saved on here. And again, you can save it as a draft or you can purchase now. And that's it. Again, look through the preview, make sure everything is looking good the way that you want it to. And then you just hit purchase now. And then that is going to show underneath programs. So if you saved it as a draft or if it's an active campaign, you'll be able to view that and view how it's doing as well. Any questions so far? Otherwise, I'll move on to another ad campaign option.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Think so.
Sounds good. Okay, so I'm just going to click back to programs or dashboard. Okay, so the next one that I wanted to show is I'm going to do a non-listing single image. So another option, if you just want to start running ad campaigns, see how they do, get some more leads into your database, you can always utilize your agent site in various different ways. So let me go back to my site here. So let's just say you want to generate some business, some interest with either buyers or sellers. You can utilize your site a couple different ways. I'm going to show you. So one of them is maybe you want to target buyers in a specific area at at a specific price point. So maybe you want to do, okay, I'm just going to use what caps lock is still on. Wauwatosa. So I'm going to search the city of Wauwatosa. And maybe I'm going to refine my search and put in, okay, I'm going to do search for anything under 400,000 in Wauwatosa. And I'm going to change it to property type to single family. So I've got 30 results. So maybe I'm going to run an ad campaign and I'm going to target people who are looking for homes under 400,000 in Wauwatosa. So for my image, what I'm going to do is I am going to capture this map view. And I'm just going to take a screenshot of this right here. So that image is what I'm going to use for my ad campaign. And I'm going to leave this up because I'm going to grab this link because that's going to be my destination URL for the ad. So I'm going to choose non-listing. My Facebook page is already linked. So you'll notice that I'm not linking a specific listing for this. I'm just going to jump right to targeting. So I'm going to target Wauwatosa. And I'm just going to leave it as a 15-mile radius. My media type, so I'm going to upload that image here. So I'm going to select from media library. And I'm going to add new media because I'm uploading that new image. So I'm going to grab that from my computer. It's going to upload in here. There it is. It's funny, I must have done this similar one previously. Confirm and close. So now I've got that image in there. Now my text. So body text, you'll notice that the AI generator is not in all of these ad campaign types. So this one included, it's not part of there. It doesn't have that little star icon. So you got to make it up on your own or just use ChatGPT. But body text, I would do something like spring has sprung. It's really cheesy, but just go with it. Check out these homes for sale in Wauwatosa under 400K. And you can use emojis too. So sometimes that's really helpful with capturing people's attention. So you could do something like little home emoji or like, flowers or spring. So something like that. And then actually, maybe I'm going to do this for my headline. And then that body text is going to be, check out these homes for sale in Wauwatosa under 400,000. And just from the image, it's showing, there's 30 homes for sale currently under 300,000. All right. Again, you can write whatever you'd like for this. This is just one idea. Okay, so then I'm going to add this URL. So again, I'm going to highlight, click, copy the whole thing. Remove that HTTPS, paste that entire URL in there because that is what that learn more button eventually, once they click on that lead capture form, that's what it's going to take them to. And then lead settings, same thing. So maybe this, I'm just going to do Facebook lead TOSA, create as new tag. Boom, there we go. Smart plans, I can add them to a smart plan or not. I can always add them to a smart plan after they get funneled into my database. Compliance, just leaving that as the default. Proceed to the next step. Maybe I want to run this for a week. So I'll do through the 10th. And then maybe I want to spend $100 and really see how many leads I can capture from this.
Quick question, going
Yeah.
back to the compliance,
Yes.
you said you selected the default, is that
Yes.
it? Okay,
Mhm. Yeah,
just
and
because it
so
was already on the image,
yes,
like in the
yeah,
bottom?
so
Okay,
the default's gonna pull in, whatever is in your marketing profile under that compliance section, and as well as that DBA logo, or that basically it's the doing business as, it's the
mm-hmm,
Keller Williams logo.
okay,
You chose custom, you can upload a different, KW logo, um, but it's just an extra step. I don't think you need to do that,
okay,
just use the default.
okay, and
It's
it,
not a huge deal.
okay, and it pulled that even though you like screenshotted that?
Yeah, because you'll notice, so, like, this is the image I uploaded, but it
Mm-hmm,
automatically includes this section at the bottom as
okay,
part of the ad campaign. Yeah.
okay, sounds good.
Alright. So then that's it. That's all you'll do for setting up that ad campaign. So I just wanted to show, like, this was obviously geared towards, capturing more buyers. The other thing that you could do from your website is if you have the home valuation page added to your site, and I should here. So the home valuation page is something that you can add as a custom page on your website. If you have yet to add it, check out one of our past training videos on how to edit and customize your agent site. We usually go through that, how to add that for any of those trainings that we've done. But this is what the page can look like. And basically, it's a lead capture form where someone can enter in their home address, and then it's going to spit out a number for what their home is worth. It also is going to funnel a lead into your contact database, and it's an opportunity for you to reach out to that person and pull more comps and have a conversation about how it got to that number, or maybe the number that command spit out is a little bit different than what you would provide. So again, just really great lead capture opportunities here. But maybe I would do something like screenshotting this page here, um, or maybe just doing a general, like, stock image of a home, or you could talk about more market stats, and what is the market looking like right now? It's spring market. How many new listings are there for sale, and some of those things. So you could get really creative on what that ad campaign is going to look like. But it would essentially be the same sort of thing. Let me just click. Oh, I'm zoomed in here. That's fine. So let me go back to dashboard, and you would do something like the non-listing again. So I'll click that, and then choosing your target. So maybe I'm just doing Milwaukee. Maybe I'm doing a really vast area here. Upload the media, add new media, upload from device, get that loaded in here, confirm. And then my text is curious what your home is worth. Um, I think it's always a good idea to kind of, especially for something like this, talking more about like some actual statistics and what's going on in the market. Um, Pulling some of those from like Tuesday's team meetings, some of the statistics that Charlie provides on those meetings, the MLS market updates as well. So you could pull from those emails that are sent out from the MLS every month, and just pull one or two that you feel like are the most interesting pertaining to either sellers or buyers, and putting that in, the headline and the body text. So it could be something just really simple. Find out what your home is worth. Maybe I want to add an emoji there. Oops, I don't need two houses. So again, you'll see how that looks like on the preview. And then the body text, home prices are up year over year by, and I'm just going to make this up, so don't quote me on this, 12%. Oops. Okay. So something along those lines, you get the idea of how you can utilize these campaigns. But again, this is where I would copy that link and then paste it in that URL right here. Choose my tags, my smart plans, proceed to the next step, my duration, budget, and then purchase. So that's how that would look. And you can do that for a lot of different things on your site. Let me just pull mine up again. I mean, you've got that search for properties page. So if you wanted to target a certain area, maybe you wanted to kind of specify like lake homes, just search by city, neighborhood, school district even, and then play around with these filters here. You've got the price range, bedroom, bathroom count, property type, and you've got other filters as well. So then pull that search criteria, take a screenshot of maybe the map view, or just kind of maybe general page right here. You'll also notice the preview here, like how that ad is laid out. So I would almost try and go more of a like a vertical image, kind of how like the new Instagram layout is, where it's more of a longer image. Just so you don't have that kind of not necessarily white space, but like space at the top and the bottom. I think that would look a little bit nicer, as you can see from the preview here. All right. And then, like I said, once you have an ad going or it's ended, you'll click on programs and then you'll be able to click on those. Same thing with drafts if you want to get back into a draft and send those out. You'll notice too, actually, must have been an old ad campaign, but I did multiple areas for targeting. Let's see here. But yeah, so then there's an ad campaign that I actually ran. And then like I mentioned earlier, this is where you can track the status and the results. And then if I had leads, I could click on those and see those. But otherwise I can view them here or I can view them in my contact database in Command. All right. Any questions on those ad campaigns?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think I'm pretty well set.
Okay. Yeah, but if you want to just play around with it, obviously, like you don't have to run a campaign if you just want to see what you can do. But it's a great option just to build up your database. It's great to, promote a listing or an open house that you're holding. But again, if you are promoting a listing that isn't yours, just get permission from the listing agent. And that's really it. And obviously, any sort of marketing, you have to have that brokerage affiliation. So having that KW logo, and again, if your marketing profile is filled out, that's automatically going to feed in there, like you saw for the compliance section. And then if you have like a Facebook business page, that's why I also recommend in the title, the name of your business page, having Keller Williams in there, just to ensure that anything that you post or promote on there, it has that brokerage affiliation in there automatically. So,
I haven't created a Facebook like business account yet.
okay.
Do I just set that up as like I'm creating a new Facebook account and select like a business
So all you'll do is through a business page has to be created from a personal page. So you'll
Okay.
just log into your Facebook account and
Hmm.
then I forget exactly where you go, but you'll go to like create and then choose business. And then just follow the prompts to set that up. It's pretty straightforward.
Okay. Sweet.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all I have for today. Thanks for joining me, Caroline.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right. Well, have a great day.
You too.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.